right. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. My name is Shanaz, and I'm the manager for partnerships in UK and Europe at upGrad Abroad. And I'm very pleased to be here with you. And of course, as you can see on the screen, I'm not alone. I'm here with Avni and with Chum. They are from Haga-Helia University of Applied Sciences in Finland, and they have, I must say, quite some knowledge when it comes to careers, study in Finland. And this is exactly what we're going to discuss today. We will be talking about the opportunities learners have when it comes to studying in Finland, but more specifically, when it comes to studying a digital technology program. And Avni and Chum, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Shanaz, and hello, everyone. A warm good evening to all. It's afternoon here still and quite wintry outside. A small introduction about myself. So I'm Avni, and I have been working and living in Finland for more than 3.5 years now. Started my journey as an international student who came on an exchange program to Finland, fell in love with the country, and now I've been working full-time with Haga-Helia University of Applied Sciences. And I would be happy to share today about the various career opportunities that you can find, especially if you grow with us at Haga-Helia. And I'll give the floor to my colleague Chang to quickly introduce herself, and then we can move forward. We have a small presentation ready for you to give you a taste about Finland and about Haga-Helia then.
Thank you, Avni. Hi, everyone. My name is Sharon. I am Junior Specialist of Global Education Services at Haga-Helia. So I originally come from Vietnam, and I came to Finland about 8 years ago as a student. And after working in a few different industries, now I joined Haga-Helia as a Junior Specialist working in education industry. And I am excited to be here today, sharing more information about this upcoming program, and maybe a bit more about my experience later on being an international student in Finland, if you have any questions. So thank you guys for organizing this event.
Yes, thank you so much for introducing yourself. And well, as all of you who are participating in this session can see, we have the specialists here. Well, without any further delay, I would say let's start this webinar and let's get to find out more about Finland, about the careers, and also about the options that you have when it comes to certain pathways that we have established with upGrad, in collaboration with upGrad Abroad and Haga-Helia University of Applied Sciences. Avni, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll be sharing my screen now so we can have a look at the presentation that we have ready for you. All right. Also, at any point, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat so that Shanaz from upGrad and then my colleague Chang can answer them as well. All right, so let's get started. The first thing when you think about Finland, or I'm sure that it is not as well known of a study destination to you, but it is at the moment quite upcoming and trending, and it is the place to be. These are some of the most well-known companies which are not just in Finland, but they are present in India as well. So these are Finnish companies. The one of them which you can notice and recognize very easily from that is Nokia. You have Kone. Kone makes elevators, world-class elevators globally. Then you have the one of the most famous gaming companies called Rovio, who launched the Angry Birds game in all over the world. And then I'm sure all of you could relate to these pair of orange steel scissors that everyone at some point always had it at home. And those were first launched by this Finnish company called Fiskars. So there are quite a few very well-known innovative companies that originate from Finland. Coming on to certain statistics, so Finland is located in the northern hemisphere, and the neighboring countries of Finland are Sweden, and then you have Estonia and Russia. Finland has a population of about 5.2 to 5.5 million people, and is about 116th most populous country on earth. So it's not that populated as India is, or as other European countries are. There's a very good balance between people and nature. So you have enough of free space. The currency used in Finland is euro, and the languages, official languages spoken are Finnish, Swedish, and then Inari Sami. Moving on, just to give you a taste about what is Finland, where is Finland, and how is Finland. So this is an excellent video representing that. It's from Business Finland, which is also very heavily represented in the Indian market at the moment. Right, so that was a overall representation of Finland as a country, and why should you choose Finland to move over here and come and study and build your career. But apart from that, we have some facts for you. So the current GDP forecast for Finland is supposed to be increasing by 3.6% in the coming years. So that is what has been projected. That shows that the Finnish economy is quite stable and is developing and growing. Finland does have one of the highest GDP per capita as well, which just proves the point further. Now you must wonder that since Finland is in Europe, is it necessary that you have to know the local language, which is Finnish? Well, it is not a mandate for you to learn Finnish before coming to Finland. Finland is a very international study destination. 90% of Finnish population is very highly educated, and the English language proficiency is therefore very high as well. Finland stands about number 8 in the world when it comes to the EF language proficiency globally, as compared to, for example, Germany, which is again a very popular study destination in Europe. Germany stands 10th globally. So as you can see from the numbers, in Finland, you can get by just fine by knowing English very well. Helsinki, which is the capital city of Finland, is one of the best cities known for work-life balance. There is a rich combination of city life and closeness to nature, as you saw in the video earlier. And Finland is very well located and very well connected to rest of the European cities. So there's a very good and easy access to other European countries as well. And then coming to the core values, which are very highly valued in Finland and on which the Finnish society is based upon, are honesty, punctuality, and equality. So these three values are very highly regarded and are very thoroughly put into practice in one's working life as well. Coming to some of the in-demand careers in Finland for immigrants. So these are the careers which are on rise. And then we have the average salaries that have been calculated and that you can expect as well if you are into one of these jobs. Data analytics, you have sales and business development, software engineering, IT and sysadmin, you have marketing, PR and media, and then you have service design as some of the top careers that you can pursue and has a lot of demand for immigrants to join as well, the companies that are offering these kind of positions. One good thing is that all the careers that you that you see here listed are something that you can get into when you take up the MBA courses that Haga Helia is offering. And you can have a closer look at that when we reach on to a bit more information about the university. Also, one good fact to note is that Finland does rank among one of the highest countries in Europe to have higher salaries, and there's low competition for these kind of job when it comes to the other countries in Europe. As we saw earlier, so we can clear the myth once and for all. Finland is not always cold and dark, and there's not always winter all the time. We do have 4 distinct seasons, namely spring, summer, autumn, and then winter. Springtime is great. We are just going to actually be starting spring pretty soon, in a month or so, in Helsinki. And during that time, you see most of the snow melting away, and then of course the flowers blooming. So that's quite great. Temperatures are also not too hot, and they're just perfect. Summer is one of the most popular months, I would say, in Finland, because almost everyone is on a holiday. And traditionally, people go to their cottages or spend time with their families. And most common activities during the summer are to pick berries, go for mushroom picking, foraging, fishing, and just kind of unwind and relax. People taken off for almost 1 or 2 months. So it's quite a good and a big holiday that you get. Autumn time is very pretty. You have, it looks quite nice and golden outside. And then, of course, you have the winter, which is amazing when there's snow. You also get the chance to see the northern lights. And if you're into winter sports, or if you would like to learn something new, you can always take up ice skating or skiing and so on. Okay, but now coming on to the university that me and my colleague Chang represent. So Haga Helia University of Applied Sciences. Our motto is that we open doors to future careers. It has always been in our mindset that we would like to welcome students wherein we just don't give them theoretical or academic knowledge, but we also give them the hands-on experience so that they get ready for the working life once they graduate. And that is our mission. That has always been Haga Helia's goal and mission. And we would like to show you a small video which talks about or gives you a taste of Haga Helia, what is Haga Helia about. And these are also testimonials firsthand from some of our international students who are featured in the video.
Finland is a nation built on education, innovation, research, and development. Located in an international and modern Nordic capital, Helsinki, Haga-Helia University of Applied Sciences operates with the same principles that are at the core of the Finnish society.
This country is a very good place to study. People here, they are happy.
Finnish people, so they are very open-minded to foreigners. You have the feeling that you're at home even though you're not at home.
I think the positivity and trust are really values in Finland.
Helsinki is the best city for students.
Haga-Helia is the leading university of applied sciences in Finland that offers several degree programs taught entirely in English. Our professional teacher education is considered to be one of the best in the world. Here, you can study and network to become an expert in business, information technologies, tourism, hospitality, and sports.
The teaching style is very practical and realistic, and like right from your first semester you're introduced into the industry.
We utilize inquiry-based learning a lot.
It's so hands-on in order to acquire skills that are needed for modern work environments.
Our campuses are located at the heart of Helsinki, Porvoo, and Vierumäki, with easy access to accommodation, countless sports and leisure activities, art and culture, and world-class entertainment.
During summer, when the sun will never go down, it's just so amazing.
It's so fresh air.
Nature brings such peace of mind and peacefulness to this amazing country.
Studying at Haga-Helia University of Applied Sciences gives you the opportunity to be internationally connected and to explore a rich Nordic culture while learning and practicing the skills of your future career.
I feel like I have learned so much. I learned better about where I want to be when it comes to career.
All right, so that was a small feel of about Haga-Helia. As you notice, so Haga-Helia is a strongly business-oriented University of Applied Sciences, and these are some of the stats and figures. We have about 650 teachers and specialists and staff members working at Haga-Helia. About 10% of our student body is international. Haga-Helia also is partnered with over 200 universities, out of which 10 of these partner universities of Haga-Helia also offer double degree programs to the students. And then we have over 100 partner companies, which provide students with thesis or internship opportunities or work placements after graduation and so on. And we have about 5 campuses. The second campus that you see in the picture there, Pasala campus, is our main campus, and that is where Chung and I are as well. We work from the main campus. And if you do choose to do the pathway program that we have proposed with upGrad, you will be studying out of the main campus, that is Pasala, and that's in the heart of Helsinki as well. Okay, but coming to the pathway program structure and the admission. So the plan is that with upGrad, we initiate this project wherein the students complete a postgraduate certificate with the Golden Gate University online, and they earn the 25 ECTS from that program, followed by that upon fulfilling the admission criteria that you can see on the screen below, students can transfer to Haga-Helia University of Applied Sciences to continue and complete the remaining 65 ECTS in order to get a master's degree from Haga-Helia. In total, the master degree program requires 90 ECTS to be completed. And we have 2 master degree program pathway routes that we provide. And I guess Chung can go ahead and explain them further.
Yes, thank you, Abby. Yes, so as some of you might know, we offer 2 master degree programs for upGrad students. As you can see from the screen, there are leading business transformation and the master degree program in business technology. And the scope of the studies for both programs is 90 ECTS, so 90 credits. And as you can see from the slide also, that we, like in the leading business transformation, you can choose from that 7 specialization areas. And from the business technology, you can choose from 3 specialization areas. And also, just so you know that, like, beside that specialization area, you can also choose about 20 credits, which you can choose also from one of that specialization areas, so that it can become your minor. So in your certificate, there will be 1 major and then 1 minor. So from those 7 specialization. Regarding the tuition fee and scholarship, so the tuition fee for the master students are like 10,500 euro per year. And the scholarship, we do offer scholarship based on the study progress. So the student will be offered 20% scholarship. Yes, so the 20% scholarship will be awarded to the master level students who has completed a minimum of 60 credits during 2 consecutive semesters. So we don't really like check the grade of the student as long as the student finished 60 credits in 1 year, so which is in 2 consecutive semesters, they will be offered 20% scholarship. About the living cost, as you can see from here, I list out a few points. So accommodation, public transportation, food and study material. Regarding the accommodation and public transportation, being students in Finland is, I would say, a privilege, because in here, like being student, you will receive a lot of discount and a lot of benefits. The accommodation I mentioned here are the price that I mentioned here are for the students. So for the normal like working people in here, they will need to pay more. But for the students, their living expense will be lesser. So the student get access to also besides the accommodation, the student can get access to the student price public transportation, which is about like 50% off pricing. And so in total, the student need to have 6,720 euro per year. So in order to apply for the resident permit, so it's approximately 560 euro per month at your disposal every month to be able to pay for your living expenses.
If I may add to what Avni and Chan just mentioned, you actually, within this pathway that we established, this upGrad abroad facilitated pathway, students basically have the opportunity to study a couple of months online while you're still here in India and follow the curriculum offered by Golden Gate University in San Francisco, which is in the United States. So you will be following a couple of modules, completing your modules online, and then you can move to the on-campus experience with Haga University of Applied Sciences and complete the rest of the degree there while getting some waivers for the modules that you've already obtained as part of the GGU, the Golden Gate University program.
Yes, that's right, Shahnaz. I think I can elaborate a bit on that, as you just mentioned. So that is absolutely right. The students, what we have planned is that the Golden Gate University and Haga Helia will facilitate your master degree studies, wherein with upGrad you can study online the initial 25 ECTS. The curriculum for that is provided by Golden Gate University, San Francisco, USA. And on completion of those 25 credits online, depends if you can of course do the online studies from India with upGrad assisting you, and then post completion of that, following the admission criteria that Haga Helia has set, which is having a prior bachelor's degree, 2 years of work experience, and this completed 25 ECTS with Golden Gate University and upGrad. You can come on site to Haaga-Helia in Finland and complete your remaining 65 credits of studies on site at Haaga-Helia. And on completion of that, you will be awarded the MBA master's degree from Haaga-Helia. So
Exactly.
that's thank you for clarifying and bringing that point up.
Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe I can, Chang, if you would like, I can take it forward from here. Yeah. So talking about some of the support services and student experience that Haaga-Helia offers. So we offer study guidance for every student. Every student has been given an academic advisor that they can approach, and they can discuss how to build up on their courses, which courses would be right as per their career path, or how can they divide their credits, or also about thesis advising. All of that guidance is provided. We have on-site health and well-being services for the students. We have an on-site psychologist as well for the students if they would like to have any kind of, and all of that is free of cost, of course. We also have student associations on each of our campuses, and we highly recommend international students to join the student association so that they can get first-hand experience of the Finnish student lifestyle, and also get connected and networked with various Finnish organizations and companies, because the student organizations also very closely work with Finnish companies over here. Then most of the learning, as you also noticed earlier, is via joint courses and projects. So it's a bit more hands-on learning as opposed to what most of us are used to in India, for example, that is, sitting in a classroom and listening to the teacher. That is not a common sight in Finland. You get to work in groups, and there's also a lot of independent learning that you have to get used to. So it's a very different kind of academic atmosphere. And then we have a specialized international career services team, which assists all students in finding, let's say, part-time jobs or internships, job opportunities after students graduate. And they also provide free career counseling, one-on-one career counseling, and they all very regularly hold job fairs on our campuses. There's one happening in about 2 weeks on our campus. And there's also simultaneously a lot of workshops regarding how to prepare for an interview with a Finnish company, for example, or how to improve your CV or LinkedIn, and so on. So a lot of these support services are provided for all our international students. About 90% of Haaga-Helia master degree students have managed to find employment by the time they graduate. A very high number of these have been able to find employment whilst they are pursuing their master degree studies at Haaga-Helia. And that's mainly because of the number of partner companies that we have, and how often these partner companies are present on our campuses, how often these companies provide projects to our students. So it is very much possible that you, when you come to Finland and are enrolled in a master degree program, you might get to meet one-on-one with the company representatives who are allotting you a project to work on, or they might even commission your thesis. So you can choose to do a thesis for a company, and that's a very good way to also get absorbed into the Finnish labor market. Vipunen is one of the national databases in Finland, which gathers all the data about graduates, not just from Haaga-Helia, but from all academic organizations in Finland, so to speak. And the statistic here that you see, it's not outdated. It's just that after every 5 years, this kind of survey is done. So the last one was done in 2017 for the students who kind of graduated then. And it is quite interesting to see these numbers. And we are constantly keeping a track of how our students are performing in their career otherwise. Coming to the part-time work opportunities, so international students can work up to 30 hours per week during their studies. That is as per the Finnish immigration law. And an average salary for part-time work could be anywhere from 12 euros to 14 euros. It could be even more. It completely depends on what kind of a part-time work you've taken up. As I mentioned earlier, there is support from our career services team in finding part-time job or even coaching you for it. And you can always get in touch. There is ample number of resources to get in touch and network with the Finnish companies when you are in Haaga-Helia. And upon your graduation, you can apply for a 2-year stay-back visa in order to start your own business or look for a job. So once you graduate from Haaga-Helia with the master's degree, even then you are allowed to apply for a 2-year stay-back visa, and then you can, in that 2-year period of time, start your own business or look for a job to stay back further. Accommodation. So Haaga-Helia doesn't provide accommodation of its own, but we certainly assist all the international students in finding the accommodation. The most common one is Helsinki Student Apartment Association, or in short, it's called HOAS. And HOAS is an online portal where you can go have a look at the options that they have and send in an application for an apartment. If you're planning to move to Finland as a student with your family, for example, they do have family-friendly apartments and studio apartments as well. And if you're willing to live in an apartment which is shared, then you have various number of options there. And they are very reasonably priced. You do get an option of having a furnished apartment or an unfurnished apartment. And they are very conveniently located, so very close to public transportation or supermarkets and so on. And if, for example, someone is not interested in looking at HOAS, there are several other accommodation providers such as Sato, Lumo, and so on. You can always find more information from international services team at Haaga-Helia. So they can definitely assist you and guide you further with more matters related to accommodation or how to open a bank account, and all of that is covered when you are absorbed into the Haaga-Helia family, so to speak. Thank you so much, and we would be happy to answer any questions that are there. And please do feel free to have a look at our website as well. There is also an option to take a virtual tour of our campuses, so you can get a much better idea about Haaga-Helia as well. And I will just stop sharing my screen. Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Alfni and John, for sharing this information about Finland, about the university. Would it be possible for you to maybe also share some information and give us some insight on the living costs versus the salary within the country? And maybe, if possible, could we also address, like, I know you already mentioned the salary, the packages. I'm not sure if these are averages of the discipline of the industry or if these are the starting packages. Could you also maybe give us some more information about that and how these salaries, translate basically to living costs? And yes.
Yeah, so the expected, as per the Finnish immigration law, so for example, if a student is applying for a residence permit and they have to prove the finances, if they have enough of finances to be able to live in Finland for at least 1 year, they are expected to show about 6,720 euros. So that's about 560 euros per month that they should have. That's the minimum which is set by the Finnish law. Now, 560 euros, as per the Finnish law again, they are expected to cover their accommodation and other living costs such as groceries and food costs and so on. That's the minimum that you need. And as a Haaga-Helia graduate, we were just looking at Vipunen, the national database which I spoke about. In that, I'll give you the number that a Haaga-Helia graduate from a master degree program, was it master or bachelor, the 3008?
3008 is for bachelor's,
yeah.
And for the master graduate, yeah. the medium salary is 5,000.
It was about 4,800 or so. So a Haaga-Helia bachelor student, the starting salary for a bachelor student itself is 3,800 euros per month. And for a master student, it is about 4,000 to 5,000 euros per month. So if you compare that, I think that should kind of give you an idea that, you know, there's quite a lot of difference there.
We can indeed definitely do the maths in this case.
Exactly, and as I mentioned, Finland is one of the countries that does have one of the highest average salaries that are paid to the people here is quite high in Europe altogether. So of course, the tax percentage is a bit higher, but then the benefits of that are quite good because you have free healthcare, which is not very common in a lot of countries. So the healthcare is top notch and it's free for all the citizens and so on.
And is that free healthcare also offered for students?
The students, I believe, pay a very minimal amount.
They pay about like 50 euro per year.
Yeah.
So in order to access to the healthcare system, so that as long as that, like, and also like before coming here, the student are supposed to have to buy the insurance. So to cover some, for example, some dental appointments. So that is something that is not covered by the health like companies in here. But by the insurance. But for the normal doctor visits, it can be paid by that like 50 euro per year.
All right. And what about well, we definitely got an insight into Finland and the university. Could you maybe elaborate a bit more on why is Finland one of the hottest markets in Europe right now when it comes to studying, well, disciplines like ICT and other technologies? Why Finland? How is it different from the other European markets?
So Finland, well, in the video we saw that Finland is the third most innovative country, but I believe it has been now very recently named as the second most or one of the most innovative countries in the world. And that I think speaks volumes because there's a constant, you know, passion for development, and IT is quite is one of the biggest fields at the moment in Finland. IT and as well as business and sales development. These two are the most trending careers that you can choose for, and they are also quite international because Finland is kind of aggressively expanding and you know, opening up to the world, so to speak, and that is why they need more of people from the outside to come in and give in their knowledge and expertise as well. Famous companies such as Nokia, Rovio, Supercell, Kone, all of these are all the time on the lookout for new people to join in and innovate.
I can add something also that, like, in recent years, like Finland has seen a rising popularities in technologies, like technology company, and especially startups. So, for example, you might know something about like Slash, which is one organization that they organize the big events for startups. So in recent years, there's a lot of startup company in Finland. So that also explains the reason why we need more and more international talents coming here also.
So I think along with a very stable economy and a lot of development, especially in these fields, but also in business, we can say that students are very, well, will definitely be exposed to a lot of practice-based learning, as I can understand from one of the students in your videos mentioned the inquiry-based learning. Could you maybe tell us a bit more on how students are prepared for the industry? What are your teaching methods apart from the inquiry-based learning, and how do students benefit from that and feel ready to actually start in the industry upon graduation?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I can share my own experience in this, because I came to Finland as a student about 8 years ago. So in here, like in University of Applied Sciences, usually I could not say like exactly, but like for example, in one course, the student would spend about like 50% in theoretical classes and about like another 50% working in projects. So all students in one class, they will be divided into different groups, and they will work together in one group from the beginning of the semester until the end of that semester, or maybe like from the beginning of the course until the end of that course. So in that group, they will work for one company. So that is like how we do it here. So the lecturer, the company, they will together and create one project, and our lecturer will bring that project to our students. So during the time of their study, our students already have the chance to work on real life experiences and real life projects, and like get the hands-on experiences. And also some of the students, they get the context from the company thanks to that project. So that's why they already got the internship offer or job offer already during the time of their study. So that happens quite common here in also in Haaga-Helia.
Well, I think that's, well, a very clear example of how it can be. Just out of curiosity, do you also see students leaving Finland and working in other countries within Europe?
Yes, to be honest, of course, that does happen. There could be, so I don't really want to but just show a very rosy picture of Finland as everything is perfect here. Of course not. It's a new country, and as I said, that it is just now kind of opening up to the world. So Finland is also kind of learning the ways of, how we can kind of do the talent management of the international talent management that comes in. So we are still kind of learning the ropes here, so to speak. And there are students who they do come here, they try their best, but there could be something wherein they don't, you don't kind of make the right networks, or you don't have, well, sometimes language barrier can be an issue if you are specialized into certain kind of fields wherein there aren't enough opportunities for English speaking crowd, So then that could be one of the reasons, and hence they do look for other countries such as Sweden or Germany. But this is something that we are constantly developing in. There is still a lot of opportunity and potential, and definitely Finland should be one of the countries I would recommend that the prospective students consider, because it, first of all, is affordable. It is a very good start for a career and a life in Europe. And it is one of the safest countries to be in. And if you do try your best to kind of also integrate into the society and learn the ways, I think someone would never want to leave Finland, so to speak. Then, so definitely worth trying and giving it a shot without burning a hole in your pocket. Yeah.
Yes, and well, with the team that you have available on campus, I'm aware that you have the tools and the resources to help students with their job search, their industry readiness, prepare them basically for, well, interviews, employment, the whole employment and professional process. Now, once students graduate, you mentioned that quite a few students have a job offer at hand, in hand when they graduate. What are the next steps? How do students get, well, access to the post-study work visa? What is the process involved? What are the costs?
For the post-study work visa, of course, they need to have completed their studies and have the degree from Haaga-Helia or any other university in Finland, doesn't matter in that case. So once they've graduated, they can again send in an online application. It is quite efficient because you just need to be in Finland at that point and apply for the extension or the extended permit to look for work. There is a category which very clearly says that you can apply for that. And sorry, I'm just kind of putting my laptop on charge here, but yeah. The cost, I think, was about 150 euros for the application. Of course, we'll have to check because sometimes the costs keep on getting updated. But the last time we checked, it was about 150 euros for the application. Once the student has sent the online application just involves filling in the personal detail that is asked for and attaching their diploma or the graduation certificate to show that they have graduated. And they send in that kind of information, and they most likely will be called to the immigration services in Helsinki or whichever city they are in Finland for identification. And once that's done, it's quite quick. Also, one good part is that if you are already in Finland and you have sent in a residence permit application based on whatever grounds, you are still allowed to, you have the right to work. It might not be that easy for you to, go on traveling from one European country to the other, but you can still stay in Finland until you've received a positive or a negative decision, and you can still work until then. So that's a very good opportunity because you're not kind of stuck thinking what to do next. But the process is very simple. As long as they have the degree certificate in their hand, it's just an online process. And the decision should come in about 4 weeks or so max. So they should get to know by the immigration service. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. We actually have a few questions from some of the participants. And I really like this particular question. Would you know how many Indian students currently study in Finland? And would you maybe also be able to specify if Indian students opt for the STEM options within the country?
So how many Indian students go to Finland is a very good question. There is a very large community of Indians altogether as well. If you see, compared to the size of the country, it's a small country. But last time when we checked, the stats said that there were about 12 to 15,000 Indian students studying at the moment in Finland. Out of which, just this January, Haaga-Helia is projected to have at least 7 to 10 new Indian students coming in. And every year, the number kind of grows. So that's really good. And we have a very well-established Indian embassy as well, who do organize a lot of events and festivals as per the Indian calendar that take place in India for the Indian community here in Finland as well. So definitely there's, you're not kind of alone. You have a lot of personal support system as well outside the university. As for the STEM courses, sorry, Shanaz, I didn't get the question. Could you kind of...
Yes, would you know if the Indian students who decide to study in Finland, do they opt for STEM courses or are there any other popular courses that they opt for? I think
I think
I hope I'm
STEM
audible.
courses, yeah. The voice was lagging a bit, but it's okay. We got the question. I think it completely depends on the interest. Of course, I would recommend that if you're interested in studying in Finland, to look at some of the courses which kind of corroborate with the trending careers that we mentioned. That is kind of the easiest way to also, ensure that after your studies, you are able to stay in Finland longer because you have found a job. So I would definitely recommend to look more towards the business related or the IT related courses. STEM is of course an option. So that is something to consider. Would you like to add something?
No, I feel like it really depends on the students' interest. If they want to follow if they want to study more courses in STEM, then I think that in Haaga-Helia, at least like in these 2 degree programs, we do offer like some course that is more related to technology.
Yeah.
So you just have to know what you want before you decide what you want to apply.
Also, one point to add here is the advantage of going for a business plus an IT course. So a course which has both these elements together is that you have much more options than when you come to Finland or when you're in Finland looking for a job. You can also get the career progressment or advancement is also much faster because let's say you are starting off as a software developer, but at some point then you can become a project manager and, perhaps even have your own consultancy company and so on. So definitely having business plus IT skills is of great asset. And we can kind of proudly say that at Haaga-Helia, we do provide you with that. But then there are several other, of course, options available. If you're interested in pure sciences or pure engineering or pure research, then those options definitely are there. But when it comes to more options, then IT plus business is the way to go.
Combining the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
I actually have a few comments from some students who didn't necessarily think of Finland as a study destination. I would like to say though, even though Finland might seem new, the country does have a track record of receiving international students. So maybe it's not as well known or as big in the Indian market as compared to other countries like the USA and Australia and UK, but they receive quite a few students, international students, throughout the last years. So they are definitely not new, but with Finland's government being ready to open up even more to international students, I think this is a great time to actually study in Finland, explore the country, explore the professional opportunities you may have. And with this particular pathway program that we're establishing, again, you have the best of both worlds because you don't only combine business with IT, but you also combine a Finnish curriculum with an American curriculum. So I think a lot of benefits are there in this program, and we will be having this information on our website very soon. So do keep an eye on our website, upgradabroad.com. Now there are a few questions left. Avni and Chan, could you maybe tell us a bit more about the entry requirements that you have when it comes to the academic record and the English level?
Yes, we don't need the student to have, I saw this question pop up a couple of times. So we don't need the students to have an IELTS score. We test the language proficiency through, it will be tested most likely through a personal interview at the end of the program when you're applying to Haga Helia. But otherwise, there's no language test required. And I can give you a bit of an insight why we don't need it is because for our other degree programs, for example, for a bachelor degree program, the language skills of the student are again tested through either an entrance exam that Haga Helia sets, or if the student applies with a SAT score and so on. So we don't need an IELTS test score from the applicants in this case.
Well, that's perfect. And there's a question about ECTS. We mentioned that a couple of times. So just to clarify, ECTS stands for the European Credit Transfer and Accumulation System, which is basically a very fancy word for credits that are awarded towards your towards the modules that you follow within the degree of interest, and it's basically based on a time that you invest into the program, the commitments, and some other parameters. But these are basically, ECTS basically refer to credits that you get, credit points that you get towards your degree. And in this case, we're talking about a 90 ECTS or a 90 credit program with a split. So you do some of the credits here online, and then you do the rest of the credit. You complete the rest of the credits on campus in Finland as part of this pathway program. So that's the very short answer to what ECTS is about. Now, we have another question about students with a machine learning interest. Avni, what would you suggest with students who have a background in machine learning? We're still studying.
Yeah, of course. Well, I cannot give a much detailed answer on that, unfortunately, because Haga Helia doesn't offer machine learning related academic content. But there are other universities in Finland where you may find something online. So do give it a search online. If you just type machine learning courses in Finland, you might find more information there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. There's some other questions about students who have a background in computer science or an interest in computer science related courses and data science. What course would be best? Maybe with a management course. Well, as Avni just mentioned, they are quite, the university is quite well known for having these combined options where you have business components.
Yeah, if you're looking at a master's, then with upGrad, we will be launching the master's degree MBA program in business technologies. So that is something definitely that could be considered in the case where you're looking to combine computer science techniques and the management techniques together. So that would probably be the most ideal one. And I would recommend to stay in touch with upGrad in this case, and maybe they can then guide you further for the course at Haga Helia.
Definitely. Yes, definitely. One more question. Is there any age restriction comes to applying for the student permit and applying for a post-study work visa afterwards?
Okay, good question. Chung, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah, maybe I can answer these questions. So I think that like in Finland, like equality is like it happens in everyday life. So also like it's come to the age, like we do not have like in any age restriction when you applying to Haga Helia or to any other higher education institution in Finland, or even when you apply for the resident permit. So like the short answer is no, there's no age restriction at all.
Yes, thank you. And would there be any, if students decide to do their postgraduate degree with you, would you accept, will you have a minimum, a maximum on the number of gap years when it comes to entry requirements?
Okay, no, it doesn't matter. As long as the student is deemed eligible and meets our requirement or the academic requirement that's set, irrespective of gap years or whatever, they will be invited to study at Haga Helia. So we don't look at gap years or the age limit, as long as they are kind of meeting the eligibility criteria.
All right, perfect. Well, I think we covered quite a lot during this webinar, during this session. I would really like to thank you both, Avni and Chan, for joining this session and sharing your insights into not only the country, not only the university, but also the career opportunities that students possibly have upon graduation, which is, of course, one of the biggest and most important questions that learners have. If I study something in a particular country, what is the return on investment? And I think we've we've covered that. And if you would like to know more about Haaga-Helia University of Applied Sciences, please do check out their website. And of course, we discussed the pathway programs. So if you're interested in studying any of the MBA programs, please do keep an eye on our website, and we will be launching the programs very soon. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. And well, we hope to see you in any of the next sessions. And I would like to thank you, Avni and Chan, for sharing all of your specialist information. And I would like to thank the participants for joining and asking the questions. I wish you all a very good afternoon and evening.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice evening.